Hello and welcome to the Retail Insider. So today I want to talk to you about Walmart and what they're doing with inflation, reducing cost, layoffs, and what to expect from a consumer mindset. So not too long ago, uh, Walmart decided to make the move to lay off more than 2,000 corporate jobs and remote jobs by August. Um, this article here shows that they are laying off hundreds of employees in California and Texas over the next coming months, eliminate 180 corporate roles in California. Um, and then while all the overall numbers are small in percentage, are focused on supporting each of our associates affected by these changes. The majority of employees currently working remotely across the US, as well as those in Walmart offices, will be in Dallas, Atlanta, and Toronto, and asked to relocate to the firm's headquarters in Bentonville, Arkansas. So this came out a couple of days before their Q1 earnings. Um, and then one couple of notes that I'm not able to share with you is they are in the midst of these layoffs are impacting merchandising and operations roles. And what you won't see a lot of that here. They did say that this 1,472 jobs at the Dallas-based office and call center are on the chopping block. Some employees are the option to transfer to other offices. And these Texas cuts came just days after announced that it be quarterly earnings. One of the things to note is what categories these affect for Walmart, and this hasn't necessarily been widely discussed, but a lot of it will be the general merchandise area. So their healthy living is doing okay, but you'll see a lot of this in the general merchandise side with like uh, more electronics and appliances. It also sounds like the associate merchant level was more impacted by layoffs, with some suppliers suggesting nearly 50% of those roles will be eliminated or have been changed. Um, and I haven't seen it anywhere really posted, but also it seems like the Sam's Club buying office in Dallas is being closed effective August 1st as the companies are exiting the real estate. It also sounds like the global tech offices in Atlanta and Toronto, which we saw up here, are being similarly closed. Some other items just to note is that so how's Walmart going to make these changes, right? So most surface level reason as to why is to what they want to do with this attendance and ensure so it doesn't go to waste. It does sound like the layoffs were more significant in general merchandise side of the business. Their general merchandise department has averaged a 4.5% decline each quarter since first quarter 22. And there was an estimated decline of that of 0.3% in first quarter 24. So this dynamic has driven significant margin mix pressure on Walmart's business, and these layoffs could be an attempt by the company to offset profit headwinds. It's also possible higher layoffs in general merchandise reflect expectations from Walmart's consumer discretionary spend will worsen for the remainder of 2024 rather than improving as the general industry generally expected. Suppliers, what does this mean for those that deal with Walmart? The most immediate impact is likely reduced communication with Walmart merchant teams, especially if they're getting rid of some of that associate merchant roles. And some of those are just like they're a buyer's assistant, or they're actually an associate buyer where they have the ability to make some level of decision. This research indicates that they believe that the associate merchant changes are more permanent, which means buyers will have less internal support over the medium term, and suppliers will likely be expected to take on more responsibility in reporting for the merchants for Walmart. These layoffs will have a side effect of having more Walmart employees into the job field, which is not great right now. But suppliers may want to start trying to hire those so that they have an in. So as we go back to this article, we'll see just Walmart said it plans to slash prices on about 7,000 products. a move employed by Target earlier this week. On Monday, the competitor knocked down 1,500 household items with more rollbacks expected throughout the summer. Doug McMillon, their CEO, together with our suppliers, making progress lowering prices. Our combination of everyday low prices plus a large number of rollbacks is resonating, and they're continuing to lean into e-com. So let's take a look more at this, what happened after the earnings report. So after the earnings report, let's see, John Furner said, what we're really noticing starting in early 22 was some conscious switching amongst products, and you can see pronounced selling in the store. In other words, 2% more of our business is now food and consumables than it was before this period began. So it says 5 to 4.5 years ago, we've seen a 2% shift from discretionary to non-discretionary. But they think there's a wind coming among consumers. There's going to be a change coming. We're seeing consistency among consumer groups over the last several quarters. Strong employment. Wages have grown significantly, and wages at Walmart amongst our associate group have grown about 30% over the last 5 years. Despite shoppers' efforts to temper spending, both the food and consumables and general merchandise segments have grown for Walmart US, he pointed out, which is different than the research is showing. So both businesses are bigger. The only real shift we've seen the last couple of quarters, which we talked about at the end of one, is more strength in apparel and more strength in home. Moving further down, we wanted to maintain our price gaps, and it feels like we're in the third phase where there'll be more retail unit pressure across the market. So one thing to note with all this, so really Walmart came out of the gate and they said we're going to reduce prices. Target got all the publicity for reducing that 4,000 to 5,000 SKUs, which we looked at and saw that it's not really a great reduction, it's just more PR. Everybody's now trying to be aggressive and make these rollbacks, and Walmart's leading the charge. And you'll see a lot of that with like Aldi as well. So a notable shift toward investing in lower retail is driving units, and a shift in consumer spending toward non-discretionary items seems to be trends that will remain into the year. So as we've seen here, and as we'll see further in the article and another article, other retailers from across different aspects of the business are starting to lower retails and be more competitive. I anticipate more investments in lower retails coming this year in next to take care of our customers, take care of each retailer's customers. We'll also have to work hard to provide customers with compelling offers to drive consumption discretionary items. So retailers are going to start having more promotional items, and you'll also see some of that's going to be retailer funded, some that's going to be vendor funded. But as we get to this, so we're definitely seeing more promotions. We have over 7,000 rollbacks in our assortment, which is up 45% over a year ago. So 45% more rollbacks this year than last year. During this third phase, we're really focused on unit growth. And if we see the opportunity to lower prices, we want to be the first down. We'll manage margins, we'll invest in prices appropriately, we'll invest in experience and associates, and then manage this within the bottom line. But the 7,000 rollbacks are a great example of what's different this year versus last year. He went on to say the consumers are very smart. They recognize its value, and with a lot of items where we've taken 20% off the retail, or in some cases less or more, we see up to 40% increases in units. It's typically immediate items like French bread or some price investments made in produce. Our private brand soft drinks we took from 142 to 1, and you're going to see more and more private label brands. As he says here, there's more participation as of late with both brands and the things we've invested in on our own and for our merchants. So that's that. So let's talk a little bit more about these price reductions. So here, Walmart, Target, Amazon, Aldi cut prices, and this is good news. So this comes from Fox. Walmart, Target, Aldi, and Amazon Fresh have been cutting prices in a bid to entice price-conscious consumers and drive sales. So this is the article we just read. Last week, Walmart US CEO John Furner told analysts during an earnings call, we're going to roll back 7,000. Days later, Target followed with the 5,000 products. Aldi did have that 250. So earlier in the month of what is this, May? Discount grocer Aldi announced it was passing along 100 million in savings by slashing prices on more than 250 items through Labor Day. Amazon Fresh said U.S. customers can save 30% on 4,000 weekly rotating grocery items. So retailers are feeling the pressure. So they're wanting to see what is that magic number? Is it a 20%? Is it 15%? Is it 10%? Is it 40%? They're trying to drive unit sales. A lot of them have excess inventory as well that they're trying to push through. I don't think Target or Walmart would be engaging in such large cuts without commitments from their vendors to cut the prices at which they sell to retailers, said this Morningstar. Key determinants of whether inflation normalizes remain housing and wages, where a drop is absolutely necessary. So inflation has fallen some, but retailers increasingly see customer retention as critical to its business model. If you're not getting the right price from Walmart, you're going to go to Target. If you're not getting the right price from Target, you're going to go to Walmart, right? So especially as they see opportunities to build up its membership programs and alternative profit streams like digital advertising. So citing examples of Target Plus and the Target Circle 360. Price cuts are more reflective of retailers trying to capture and retain customers during tougher economic backdrops as they want to build long-term customer relationship. And then finally, there's a CNBC article that we'll have to do a couple on, talks about shrinkflation. But then here it really is pricing pushback. So Wendy's and Walmart have also recently felt fury from consumers concerned about getting ripped off. In late February, the burger chain had to backpedal after Wendy's was going to introduce the dynamic pricing. Wendy's later said it had no plans to raise pricing when demand is highest and blamed misleading media reports for the uproar. More recently, social media users criticized Walmart over its decision to roll out digital shelf labels, higher tech price tags that allow it to quickly and easily change prices. The retailer said last month they would add the technology to more of its stores and plans to have them in 2,300 locations, or roughly half of its U.S. footprint. On TikTok, some saw the move as the first step toward the nation's largest retailer using dynamic pricing, the practice of raising and lowering prices based on demand, similar to Uber's surge pricing. So, and you'll see some of this at Amazon. So like when you watch Den of Tools and he promotes an Amazon product, and all of a sudden you have 1,000 people within 30 minutes go to this product that was at once $60. And after the algorithm sees this, it'll bump up the price back to normal price. It'll take the discount off, or it'll bump it up a certain rate, send out a 10% or 20% or 30% higher. Or if the original seller sells out of the item at that price, they may send out a notice to say, hey, who wants to pick up this item that's selling, that has increased sales at this price, at this target, and people can decide to do that or not. So it's kind of that dynamic pricing there that can be off-putting. However, Walmart, on the other hand, say the new price tags will cut a tedious task from store workers' to-do list, and that's true. Digital shelf labels are designed to save time. You don't have that person going around every single aisle, taking that sticker off and removing the sticker and then putting a new sticker on, or printing it, or whatever they're doing. So they'll eliminate the need for store workers to swap out traditional paper tags. She said Walmart has no plan to change the frequency or implement different pricing methods. She said all price changes will be approved by the merchandising team. With the tech, a store worker has to stand in front of the shelf and use the mobile app to raise or lower the price. It also helps with restocking. So in this case, being on the retail side, I see why the conspiracy is that there's going to be more dynamic pricing, they're just going to bump it up because a lot of people are going to want a brisket or whatever. You have like a hurricane, you're going to want a brisket, you're going to want a can of beans, whatever. That price goes from $1 to $2. But this one's more of a just trying to do a reduction in work, essentially, of a person not having to go around every aisle and put in a tag. So then the article goes on, says as foot traffic declines for retailers and restaurants, which a lot of retailers are seeing, some are leaning to value to bring back customers. We've seen Target, McDonald's, Aldi step up price cuts. We've all heard about this new $5 value meal that is everybody's going after McDonald's, Burger King, Wendy's. Everybody's trying to do, and it's not really that great of a deal, but even Mondelez is getting in there, trying to do lower prices. Kroger, which carries many of these, noticed the trend too. Kroger said on its earnings call mid-June, the brands are spending more of their own money to offer discounts to customers and drive more volume. So it remains to be seen whether companies can tamp down consumer outrage as deals and discounts start to take hold. So retailers are feeling the pressure. They see their stock price being affected. They see the consumers even pushing back. So it's going to be an interesting time. It's going to be interesting to see what happens. A lot of retailers are going to be trying to match Walmart, who's going to be leading the pack, but Aldi's not too far behind. Target's trying to do their best, but you'll also see you'll see grocery stores starting to try to get involved. So that's all I have for you today. Thank you. Please subscribe and like, and we'll see you next time. Bye.